Hi, I'm Harmony.
And I'm Doug. We're going to give you a tour of our 2011 Heartland Cyclone 3615 toy hauler fifth wheel.
Come on in, I'll show you our trailer. So here's our kitchen. In here we've added some extra storage with these shelves. We got them from Walmart. They were in the baby section. They're made for holding baby diapers, but we use them for all sorts of stuff. The kids have different brochures of where we're going to be so they can look for fun places that they'd like to go. They've got pencils and paper. They like to write lots of letters to friends and family. We keep just other papers, dry erase boards, stuff like that in there. Up here is our control panel for the whole trailer, for the slides and the awning and the generator. In here we keep some craft stuff. We've got some paints and clay and tape, crayons, some of the kids' games. And right up here is our junk cupboard that we keep some tools and just random stuff, batteries, things like that. And we keep our checklist of what to check before we're moving, because it's easy to forget stuff on moving day. We've got some cool storage under here. We keep toys in that one. This one has the hose for the vacuum, and it's got built-in central vac, and so you can either lift that up and then sweep all your stuff into it, or if you open it, there's a place to put the hose in right there, and then you can vacuum. So that's really handy. We can vacuum we don't have much carpet, but the little bit we can vacuum it, and we bring it out pretty regularly and vacuum out the car. Under our bench is storage. We keep toys in this one. And in here, these are some new things that we got from IKEA. This one holds the kids' books, and that one is more baby toys. We just have a basket of random baby stuff. The baby seems to have more stuff than anybody else. We also have storage. There's more storage under that one, and there's some storage under the couch. That's where the kids keep their keyboard so that they can play. Most of the time they just pull it out and play with it right there, but we could take it out of the drawer and they can play with it, so that's pretty convenient for them to get to. There's a ladder that leads up to Brittany's bunk. There's Brittany's space. We have a fireplace that's kind of cool. It's really nice and cozy to sit here and have the fire going. It appears that there's a fire. It also has a switch to turn a heater on so that electric heat actually comes out of it, but within probably 2 or 3 minutes it overheats and the heater shuts down. So usually if we use it, we just have the flames and it's more of a decorative thing. But we have a TV. We don't watch TV much. We've got lots of extra storage that's up there, so we ended up getting a stool so that we can reach, because that's way up there. In our other trailer, one thing that was hard was to find a place to keep our computers and a printer and things like that. And so in here we use this cupboard to keep the printer in there. We just kind of have to pull it out and turn it when we want to use it, because there's not much space, but just odds and ends and cords and wires and chargers and stuff are in there. So that's nice that they have their own space. Up in the top cupboard, it's usually just a mess. Stuff gets thrown up there because we can't really reach it. But we keep just like Ziploc bags and things that we don't use too often. And so they're up there. This is Rambler's home. Rambler is the full-time family's mascot that travels with different families for a time, and then he'll get passed off to another family. So we picked him up at the rally, and when we go to the rally in Canada, we're going to be dropping him off, so he goes on our travels with us, and that's his space. We keep food up in this top cupboard, more food up here. We bought like a shelf to hold cans and stuff. It doesn't really work too well because they roll all around and they move way too much. We weren't sure how it would work, but still it keeps them in there and we can find them. We keep dishes and food in here. Our plates, we usually use plastic plates unless we're somewhere that doesn't have hookups and we don't want to wash as many dishes, then we use paper. But we generally save paper for when we're boondocking. Our Tupperware containers hold all of our stuff up there, and then the dishes that we don't use very much are up on top. Down here, we keep pots and pans. There's some cutting boards. We bought this thing, if you can see it, from IKEA. It's just like a metal loop that screws to the bottom, so that holds all the cutting boards over to one side. So that's been nice. Otherwise, the whole cupboard was just a huge disaster. It's got this fold-out cupboard where we can keep scrub brushes. In this drawer, we keep like utensils and stuff. These measuring cups are really cool because they expand and pop down, and so they can fit flat in the drawer. They're all magnetic, so they stay together. And then when you want to use them, you just pop them out, but they don't really take up much space to stay in the drawer otherwise. We've got our stove. This oven is much better than the one in our other trailer. The other one burnt everything that was in the middle of the pan. This one, right along the front edge, is where it likes to burn stuff, so if we just push it to the back, we've been able to bake cookies and cakes, and we haven't done pie yet. That'll be coming soon. But it cooks much better than the other one. This is nice just to have a cover over the top of our stove. We just fold it up when we need it, and then if we're not using it, we just fold it down in it, and then we have extra counter space. We got this from IKEA to put our knives up. That's really convenient because then they're back out of the way the baby can't reach them. Our Instant Pot just lives on our counter because we don't really have an extra place to put it. We have this for our clean dishes after we wash them, which is nice just because it's in a whole basket, and so any water will just drip into that. We can just dump it out. More command hooks for the kids' cups. That way they're nice and convenient for the kids to just get a drink whenever they want. And we don't have a lot of extra cups. We mostly have enough dishes just for our family. If we ever have people over for dinner, we usually use paper plates for convenience. We've been working on our curtains in here. We had Big Ugly Things. We have a whole video that we'll be posting about that, all about making new curtains. So they're still a work in progress, and we'll show you the whole thing, what they look like before and after. Right now they're kind of in the middle, but it does brighten it up a little bit. It used to be dark brown, so far it's really nice. Up here, the kids painted some pictures. Each of the 4 boys painted a picture for us so that we can start to decorate the trailer. And up here above the door, Brittany painted this one for us. We also are putting up these wallpaper borders. It had some really ugly brown ones there before also. You'll see that in the video with the curtains too. And so we found that that's just brighter and not so dark and brown and gloomy. We also found this stuff, self-adhesive blackboard. It's like a big roll that comes and it just sticks right on. And so that's a chalkboard that we put down for the kids to color on. You can check out the link down below and see where you can get some of this. One other decoration that we have in here that we didn't really plan on having is the Memories Are Made at the Lake sign. We got that from one of the 1,000 Trails that we were staying at for Christmas. They were doing a bunch of games and stuff, and Brittany won that. And so we put it up, and we were still talking about ideas of how we want to decorate our trailer and what colors we'd like to go with. And we decided we'll just stick with that blue color, and so that's why we picked curtains that kind of match the blue. And then we picked our backsplash. We have a video about that. You can click on the link to go to that video on how we put up the backsplash, but we pretty much stuck with blue. The stool also, we bought some blue spray paint to do that. When we bought it from IKEA, it was just brown. And so we liked the blue color. It was light and bright, so we stuck with that. And this is our living room area. All right, now we're heading into the master bedroom. This is our bedroom. We have a lot more storage in here than we had in our other trailer. We've got some storage up on the top in these cupboards. Doug has storage over there for his clothes. I've got some storage here. Down here we store extra towels and washcloths. So in here I keep my clothes in boxes. That way it helps them to stay organized, and if we ever have too much humidity in the trailer, which sometimes can be a problem, at least they're all sealed in there. And when we travel, stuff doesn't move or dump around. It can be organized really easily that way. For here, we have all Emmett's clothes and diapers up here, and a bed for him. We had, when we got the trailer, it had this extra mattress. Not a mattress, we use it as a mattress now. It was to convert the table into a bed, but we don't ever need to do that, and so that's his space. Usually this door just stays open when we're not traveling so he can be in and out, but most of the time he does sleep in our bed. And then of course underneath the bed there's storage. It goes back to about here, and so we have that much space to store extra stuff. And in here we have command hooks. We use a lot of those in the trailer just to hang up whatever stuff we have. And here's the bathroom. We have a door to separate our bedroom from the bathroom. And this bathroom is a whole lot bigger than it was in our travel trailer. In the travel trailer, basically you had a toilet and you sat on the toilet and there was a tub right in front of you, and that was the whole bathroom. So in here we actually have some room we can move around and get dressed. We couldn't take a shower and then get dressed in the other bathroom. You'd have to find room somewhere else. We have some storage up here, which is nice. Over here there's a medicine cabinet that we store stuff, and there's a whole cupboard underneath there. And in the shower we keep this Rubbermaid box for Emmett to take baths in. It's hard to give him a shower in here standing because then the door's open and water's everywhere, so he's got his toys and he can sit in there and splash away, and that works really well for him. Right here around the corner we put in another mirror because the kids are too short to see in that one, and we'd ask them to go wash their face and they'd come out with dirty faces because they couldn't see what they were even doing. So that's been really handy to have. We put more command hooks in and on the bottom because we need to fit 7 towels. So we have 6 towels there and 1 hangs on the back of the door. We're gonna go see the boys' room. The great thing about the toy hauler is that we can open up the back door. It gives us lots of light, fresh air. If we need to for moving day, we can haul bikes in and out. It's really nice to have lots of extra space. The kids have plenty of room to play. And then when it's time for bed, we just flip a switch and their beds come lowering down. When we put everything up, they can just pile all their stuff onto their beds. And then we have lots of extra floor space to use in here. We've switched these that are supposed to fold down into one big long flat bed, but we've drilled holes and put these pins in so they stay up. So that gives them some privacy from each other and their own space on their own beds. And then once their beds are down, we have these boxes that they keep their clothes in. Each boy has one. James has a really big bed, so he just keeps his up there. And the other boys keep theirs right under the edge of their beds. They each have a box of toys that they store under their beds. And then their beds are ready. When it's time to go to bed, we can just close up the back door and they're all set. All right, so we shut the door. Hopefully the lighting is a little bit better so you can see. So we have this stool for James to get up to the top of his bed with. And when we first moved in, the boys talked about which bed each of them wanted, and a couple of them were worried about falling off of beds, and they wanted the bottom, so James ended up with the top bed. So he gets the biggest bed, and the other two seem pretty happy with their beds down on the bottom. In this room, if you've seen the video, we got a washer and dryer combo. It's been amazing to be able to keep up on our laundry. Up in this cupboard, we keep laundry soap, extra garbage bags, cleaning supplies, stuff like that. It's too high for the boys to reach anyway, so it wouldn't be good storage space for them, even though it's their bedroom. So that works out well to have that. They have storage space here and outlets so that they can charge their Kindles. Doug put in new outlets that have the USB chargers on them so that the boys can always keep their Kindles charged so they can read books. They have extra batteries down here, rechargeable batteries and some chargers for their cameras. We got them these boxes to keep their socks and underwear in, and then the rest of their clothes are in the other boxes. It just helps keep it more organized and clean. We got this. We actually bought this before we had the washer and dryer for drying the cloth diapers. It still works well for the covers because they shouldn't go in the dryer. And we have a dehumidifier in case our house is too moist. Lots of trailers do have problems in high humidity states with moisture, and they'll start growing mold. And so we keep the dehumidifier, and then when the diapers are hanging above it, they dry super fast. So that's really nice to have. Up here on the ceiling, we put in some hooks for our paddles, for our paddle boards. We keep the paddle boards up on top of the van while we're driving. And then we have our skim board that just slides right in, so that's easy, convenient storage for that. It's out of the way, doesn't bother anybody. We put in some hooks for the baby's backpack. Another one of these boxes from IKEA. This one we just keep cleaning supplies in also for the boys so that they can reach their stuff, little brooms and dustpans. Alright, I'm going to put the beds back up and show you a little bit more storage that we have in here. If you look down on the floor, you can see those circles with holes in the floor. We have some table legs and a tabletop that we don't generally use, but you can put a table in there, and then you can use the benches for seating. You just flip those back over to the other side so they're like couches behind the table. So we'll get this bed up all the way, and we'll show you our last bit of storage that we have in here. Alright, so right down here in the floor is some heavy duty storage. These doors are heavy enough because a toy hauler obviously made for hauling toys or motorcycles or whatever, so they're strong enough to drive over. So we don't let the boys into those either, just because these are big, heavy steel doors. They're heavy, but it provides lots of storage space in here for tools. So that's really nice to have. With the door of the toy hauler, a lot of toy haulers have a party deck. A party deck is just when the back door is up, so it would just be up flat. Lots of them have cables that run on the sides to attach it, and then it stays here. It doesn't go down flat, and then you can buy a railing that goes around the outside, so that this is usable space with a railing. We're hoping to do something soon to hook that up so that we can use that as a party deck, and it will give the baby a place to play outside but contained. Alright, one thing that's also nice about this is that it's got this screen door that you can pull shut, and it magnets right down to the bottom, so the whole thing is screened. So if you want it open and have fresh air, you can, or if you wanted to sit there at the table, it's nice. Bugs won't get in. We're in Florida right now and there's plenty of bugs, so that's a nice feature to have. Alright, now we're going to show you the outside of the trailer, and that would be Doug's department, so I'm going to hand you over to the cameraman and he'll show you what's outside.
Alright, so this is the outside of our 2011 Cyclone 3615. Starts, we have a ladder to the roof, nothing too fancy. We did mount a flagpole, although I don't have a flag on it. I built that with parts from Home Depot for about $7 or $8 compared to the $127 or whatever that Camping World wants from one of theirs. Maybe I'll put a parts list together and show you how I made it sometime. Alright, so moving along, we have a fuel cell. Normally this would be used for people when they are out in the dunes with their motorcycles. The fuel tank also supplies fuel to the generator, so we do have to keep gasoline in it, but it also has a fuel pump, so if we needed to fuel up the van, I typically just put one of our sewer hoses in there because it's graded, and then it can drain and it doesn't have to be stuck in one of the other compartments. This is a triple axle So it is an HD edition, so it's able to carry more weight. It's made to carry the bigger toys. Alright, so up here is the utilities. This unit has 2 gray tanks and 1 black. There is cable valves in there that we use to pull them. It discharges down there. We do have a blue buoy that comes in handy when we're at spots that don't have sewer, such as this one. It's basically a waste tank, or we like to dub it the poop tank. We fill it with the gray water typically, and we take it to dump stations. We also run a 2-stage water filter system. One takes out all the sediment, and the other is a carbon filter. It takes out some of the bad stuff in the water, and it hits that before it comes into the trailer to help prevent any problems. This would, I guess, would be called our utility station. We have hookups for cable TV. We have our street water. This is fresh water, so we can fill up our tanks, and that way if we were out boondocking, we'd fill that up. It does have a pressured system for flushing out the black tank. And also, you can wash your hands. There's lights, electrical. This is what we like to call the garage. It's a pass-through compartment underneath the master bedroom. It's where we store all of our outside stuff. It has a nice little storage area that I keep rubber gloves, spare filters, stuff like that. Pretty big door. Moving forward, underneath the slide, that's the closet. You probably saw that earlier. We do have a propane area. There would normally be a tank here. Right now it's pulled out for the fire pit. We used it for that. And I also keep spare sewer hoses in here and such, because it's also a graded floor, and anything that's wet can drip out. Alright, moving around to the front. We have a Cummins 5500 generator. It's able to generate 5500 watts of juice and power the RV on 30 amps if we need to be, which is pretty good. We could run one air conditioner and a couple other things without getting into too much trouble. But this is definitely a must if you wanted to do any boondocking or camping off the grid and you want to be able to run an AC or even any other electronic devices that aren't 12 volt. This is our grill. It's nothing too glamorous. We got a nice little table, and if you see, it has a quick connect plug underneath the RV. It does have a quick connect fitting, so we can plug it right in there. On this side of the RV, we do have another propane tank, so we do have 2 30-pound tanks. We usually only run on one, but we have a second as a backup. Alright, so this is the other side of the garage. As you can see, it does have a lot of storage. I do have a battery charger for my drills. I do keep tools down in here. All of the stuff we put in here is compartmentalized, so we have it in storage containers and we stick it in, and it all fits nicely. It's kind of like a game of Tetris. We also have this spare TV mount, so if I wanted to take the TV from the living room, we could bring it out here, mount it, and actually watch television outside. We see a lot of people that do it. We haven't yet, but it is something we could do. Also, you can see in here, I think Harmony told you about the vacuum cleaner, the central vac. This is where it's at, and we change the bags here. And there's also a port here that we can plug in, and we use that to help vacuum the vehicles. Right behind the cameraman there is our chase vehicle. It's a 2002 Chrysler Town & Country. It is a minivan. It holds the paddle boards, and when we're in new areas, we like to use it to explore. Over here is our 2004 Ford F550. It does the towing duties. It is about the biggest passenger truck you can buy that's short of being a semi-truck. It's a tow capacity of about 25,000 pounds, and it sports the Ford Power Stroke diesel engine. It is a little bit older, but it was definitely in our price range. We also, if you look on the roof, there are bike racks. That's where we put the adult bikes. The 3 children's bikes just go into the garage on moving day. As we move back along the side, you can see we have 2 entrances. One's the main entrance that goes into the main living area, and then we have a second entrance that goes into the garage, which, depending on where we're at and what kind of ground is out there, whether it's muddy or sandy, we use it as a mudroom type of thing. We have a 12-gallon water heater, which is nice, especially there's so many of us when we want to take showers, wash dishes, do laundry, all of that. It's electric or propane. So you can see we've got a couple speakers, so the sound system that's inside can be played out here or just inside. This is our state map. It outlines the states we've been to and we've had the luxury of paddleboarding in. Moving a little further, of course it's locked. If you open this though, just inside is where the washing machine is, so it's easy to access the hoses, the outlet and whatnot, so that we can check on it if we need to. I check on it frequently just to make sure there's no water leaking. Toy haulers are nice because they're kind of tall, so you can put stuff underneath them and out of the way. One last feature that's really nice is we call it a toy lock. There is a cable that we can take and go around bikes or whatever we want, and then bring it back up here and lock it with a paddle lock. And it's like having a lock. Well, it's not like it is a lock that we can lock up our things when we're away from the RV. Not quite sure what Heartland was thinking, or any manufacturer for that reason, but they put the graphics over the windows. We haven't worried about this one as much, but as far as the bedroom and the living room windows, we've actually taken like a razor blade and scraped off the stickers, just because you're inside trying to look out and it's blocking the sun, and it just looks bad from inside. From the outside it doesn't look bad, but from the inside it's definitely not aesthetic. So that is our 2011 Heartland Cyclone 3615 40-foot toy hauler, or 39-foot 9 inches I should say.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If there's any other questions or anything else that you want to see about it, let us know and we'll be glad to show you.
Sure, and if you have any questions about full timing and something like this, let us know.
Thanks for watching.